Good morning, science-minded learners. This is Teacher Mitzi, your physical science teacher. And for today's video, we will be discussing about the effects of intermolecular forces on properties of substances. So the properties of matter can be seen in either the microscopic or macroscopic level. So what is the difference between the two? So when we say microscopic level, these are the levels that we cannot see in our naked eye. So this includes the atoms, molecules, and ions. So when we say microscopic level, so this shows how the bulk properties are exhibited by matter. So when we say bulk properties, these are the state of variable or the physical property of a substance. So these bulk properties includes surface tension, viscosity, boiling point, melting point, freezing point, and solubility. So intermolecular forces of attraction plays a very important role to determine how substances behave at the macroscopic level. So for us to be able to know the effects of intermolecular forces of attraction to the physical properties of a substance, let us first be familiar with this, okay? These are the relative strength of intermolecular forces of attraction. So first, the strongest intermolecular forces of attraction is the ion dipole forces of attraction. Next to it is the hydrogen bonding, the dipole-dipole, the dipole-induced dipole, and the weakest intermolecular forces of attraction is the London dispersion forces of attraction. Okay? So the first macroscopic level or the physical properties that we will be discussing for today is the surface tension. So surface tension, this is the amount of energy required to stretch the surface area of a liquid. So this is the property of the surface of a liquid that allows it to resist an external force due to the cohesive or attraction of its molecules. So the stronger the intermolecular forces possessed by molecules, the higher is the surface tension of the substance. So higher intermolecular forces of attraction helps denser substances to float in water. So an example of surface tension is the capillary action. So it is the ability of liquid molecules to move against gravity. The forces bringing about capillary action are cohesion or the intermolecular attraction between like molecules. Like for example, both polar molecules or both non-polar molecules. An adhesion naman is an attraction between unlike molecules. So different molecules, okay? So maybe it is the other molecule will be polar, the other molecule will be non-polar, okay? So here an illustration is shown to you. So as you can see, water molecule exhibit cohesion while the attraction between water and the side of the glass exhibits adhesion. So if adhesion is greater than cohesion, the liquid will be pulled upward. So this is what we call the capillary tube. So kung mas malakas yung adhesion compared to cohesion, yung liquid substance dito is magpo-pull upward. So tataas yung level ng liquid substance. Meanwhile, if cohesion is greater than adhesion, like for example we have in mercury, this results to a lower height of the liquid in the capillary tube. Okay? So kung less than, kung hindi masyadong malakas yung adhesion compared to cohesion, or kung si cohesion is mas malakas compared to adhesion, ibig sabihin, yung liquid substance will be lower in the capillary tube. Okay? So the stronger the intermolecular forces of attraction possessed by molecules, the higher is the surface tension of the substance. So another example of surface tension is when water is dropped on a waxy surface. So it tends to form round bed to minimize the surface area that it occupies. So it is because water does not wet wax surface because the cohesive force within the drops are stronger than the adhesive forces between the drops and the wax. So it means that mas malakas yung cohesion or cohesive force rather than the adhesive or the adhesion force. Whereas kung yung water naman is dropped sa, let's say, glass surfaces, so hindi magpo-form ng round bed yung water since yung adhesion force is mas malakas compared sa cohesion force. So that is the surface tension. So the next physical properties that we will be discussing is the viscosity. So viscosity, this is a measure of a liquid's resistance to flow or kung gaano kalapot ang isang liquid substance. So the greater the viscosity of a liquid, the more slowly it flows. So the viscosity of substances decreases with high temperature. So ibig sabihin, yung lapot daw ng isang substance ay magdi-decrease kung nasa mainit na temperature siya. So for example, yung syrup, di ba malapot yung syrup? Pero pag ilagay natin siya sa mainit na temperature, mag-flow freely siya. So, hindi na siya magiging gaanong kalapot. So, another example is the oil. Di ba malapot yung oil? Pero, pag ilagay natin siya sa mainit na kalan, so magpriprito na tayo, di ba, pag mainitan na siya, hindi na siya gaanong lalapot, right? So, that is it. Okay? So, the liquids that have high intermolecular forces are highly viscous. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung high yung intermolecular forces of attraction ng isang substance, magiging malapot yung substance. So, the strength of intermolecular forces of attraction affects the viscosity of a substance. So the presence of strong hydrogen bond in some liquids make these substances highly viscous. So pag makita nyo yung hydrogen bond sa isang substance, ibig sabihin highly viscous siya. Okay? And kung saang substance, for example, magko-compare tayo ng dalawang substances. So kung sinong sa kanilang dalawa yung may mas maraming hydrogen bonds, ibig sabihin, yun yung mas high yung viscosity compared dun sa konti lang yung hydrogen bond. So, for example, we have glycerol and water. Okay? So, anong mapapansin nyo sa Lewis dot structure ng glycerol and water? Okay. So, glycerol, meron siyang tatlong OH group, right? Tapos, si water, meron lang siyang isang OH group. Pwede dito, pwede naman dito. Pero, iisa lang yan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, si glycerol, meron siyang tatlong hydrogen bonds at si water, meron lang siyang isang hydrogen bond. So, sino sa kanilang dalawa yung highly viscous o yung may mas malapot? Okay, very good. So, si glycerol kasi siya yung may mas pinakamaraming hydrogen bond. So, next we have the boiling point. So, boiling point depends on the equilibrium vapor pressure exerted by the liquid or solid above the liquid or the solid. So, as you can see in this illustration, At 100 degrees Celsius, the vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure of 1.00 atmosphere. So boiling occurs at this point where the vapor pressure of water is equal to the pressure of the atmosphere. So in boiling point, there are substances that boil at a lower temperature and some at a higher temperature. So bakit kaya magkaiba-iba yung boiling point ng substances? It is because of the intermolecular forces of attraction. Okay? So the boiling point will occur at a higher temperature because more energy is needed to break the intermolecular bonds for the substance to change into vapor. Okay? So let's have an example. We have water. So water exhibits strong hydrogen bonds such that vaporization needs more energy to change the liquid to vapor. Okay? So 'di ba, alam naman natin na yung hydrogen bond is one of the strongest intermolecular forces of attraction. So since strong yung intermolecular forces of attraction ng hydrogen bond which is exhibited in water, kinakailangan ng high temperature at more energy para ma-break yung forces of attraction ng hydrogen bond and to make it reach the boiling point and become a vapor. Okay? So, we also have London dispersion forces of attraction. So, we all know naman na it is the weakest form of intermolecular forces of attraction, right? So, since weak siya, kinakailangan lamang ng lower temperature, and low energy para ma-break yung intermolecular forces of attraction ng London dispersion. Para ma-reach niya yung boiling point at maging vapor yung substance na nag-exhibit ng London dispersion force. Okay? So that is the boiling point. So now let's proceed to melting point. So melting point, it is where the phase of matter change from solid to liquid. So melting point and boiling point have the same concept, okay? The greater intermolecular forces there are among molecules, the higher is their melting point. So the strength of dispersion forces also depends on the size of the substance or the number of electrons in the substances. So pag ang pinag-uusapan natin is ang London dispersion forces of attraction, malalaman natin kung strong or weak ang isang substance kung depende sa kanyang number of electrons. So for example, ang isang molecule ay high London or strong London dispersion forces of attraction kung mas marami yung number of electrons ng substance. At masasabi nating weak or low London dispersion forces of attraction yung substance kung meron lamang siyang mas maliit na number of electrons. Okay? So when the dispersion forces are high, ibig sabihin mas marami yung electrons, the boiling point and melting points are also high. So let us have an example. Here we have bromine 2 and fluorine 2. So they are both diatomic gases. So ibig sabihin, hindi sila nakapag-iisa. So palaging merong 2 dyan. Okay? They are also both non-polar. So ibig sabihin, London dispersion forces of attraction lamang yung nag-exhibit within these molecules. So the polarizability of bromine 2 is greater than fluorine 2. So it has greater dispersion forces of attraction. So what does it mean? Ibig sabihin, yung polarization or distortion of electrons ng bromine is greater than fluorine. Bakit? Kasi si bromine, meron siyang mas maraming electrons compared kay fluorine. So, it has a greater dispersion forces of attraction. So Br2 or bromine 2, since greater yung dispersion forces of attraction niya, so si bromine 2 has a higher boiling and melting point than fluorine 2. So that is the melting point and boiling point between London dispersion forces of attraction. So the last physical property of a substance that we will be discussing is the solubility. So solubility is the ability of a substance, whether it is solid, liquid, or gas, to dissolve in a given substance, whether it is solid, liquid, or gas. Or in other words, solubility is the ability of a solute to be dissolved in a solvent. So the rule like dissolves like applies to solubility. So what does it mean? It means that polar dissolves in polar only, and nonpolar also dissolves in nonpolar only. So in terms of intermolecular forces of attraction, those molecules that have dipoles will only dissolve or attract in those molecules that have dipoles. So that is the solubility. So to predict the behavior of substances, we must consider the following examples. So here we have our molecules, polarity of bonds, intermolecular forces of attraction, boiling point and melting point, and the solubility. So first molecule are NaCl or the sodium chloride and CH4 or the methane. So first we will determine the polarity of bond. So NaCl is an ionic compound and CH4 is a non-polar. So after that, we will determine their intermolecular forces of attraction. So NaCl is an ion dipole force of attraction. And CH4 is a London dispersion forces of attraction. So through these intermolecular forces of attraction, we will be able to predict or determine its boiling point, melting point, and solubility. So NaCl, since it is ion dipole, it is the strongest intermolecular forces of attraction. So this means high boiling and melting point. Since kailangan ng high temperature para ma-break yung intermolecular forces of attraction ng ion dipole. And CH4, since it is London dispersion forces of attraction, meaning it is the weakest intermolecular forces of attraction, so low lang yung kanyang boiling point and melting point since low energy is needed or low temperature is needed to reach its boiling and melting point. So in terms of solubility, NaCl is highly soluble in water. And CH4 is not soluble in water since hindi siya ma-attract sa water molecule. So wala siyang dipole moment. Okay? So next, we have our CCl4 or the carbon tetrachloride and CHCl3 or the trichloromethane. Okay? So first, we will determine the polarity of bonds. CCl4 is a non-polar. CHCl3 is a polar. So in terms of intermolecular forces of attraction, CCl4, since it is non-polar, so it is London dispersion forces of attraction. And si CHCl3 naman is a dipole-dipole force of attraction. So through this, we can determine its boiling and melting point. So CCl4, since it is London dispersion forces of attraction, so it has low boiling and melting point. CHCl3 is a dipole-dipole forces of attraction, so it has a high boiling and melting point. So in terms of solubility, CCl4, it is not soluble in water And CHCl3 is highly soluble in water. So last, we have ammonia, NH3, and methyl fluoride. So CH3F. So the polarity of bonds, NH3 is a polar molecule. And CH3F is also a polar molecule. So in terms of intermolecular forces of attraction, NH3 is a hydrogen bonding. And CH3F, it is a dipole-dipole forces of attraction. So you will ask, Ma'am, bakit dipole-dipole si CH3F? Kasi meron naman siyang hydrogen. Then, nandito yung highly electronegative atom, which is si fluorine, di ba? FON. So, bakit dipole-dipole? It is because si CH3 or si hydrogen is not attracted or it's not connected to fluorine. Saan siya connected? Connected lang siya kay carbon. So, hindi siya considered as hydrogen bonding. So, this is only a dipole-dipole force of attraction. So, in terms of boiling and melting point, since hydrogen bonding is one of the strongest intermolecular forces of attraction, NH3 has high boiling and melting point compared to CH3F. Okay? And in terms of solubility, NH3 is more soluble in water. And CH3F is also soluble in water, pero hindi siya mas soluble in water compared to NH3. Okay? So that is how to predict the behavior of substances. So that is all about Module 6, Effects of Intermolecular Forces of Attraction on the Properties of a Substance. I hope that you have learned something. So thank you for watching Science-Minded Learners. Until next Funfield Science Adventure. Bye!